We are seeing more interracial dating and partnerships within the Australian community, and the media is starting to represent our changing demographics. Of course, it's not until you engage with someone from a different culture or ethnicity do you truly empathize and understand the reality of interracial partnerships. So, ladies, what are your thoughts on interracial dating? We are all.
I think we've all done it, or we're all doing it,
Or in one.
or in one, or out of one. For me, my husband is African American, and I think that you have to be secure in your relationship. I think you have to be confident in your love, because love is love, but you also have to be respectful of others. I think that specifically for his culture, there's a tragic history, obviously. There is a very deep history in terms of breaking apart Black families, and you know, there's nuance and there's a lot to it. So I think you have to be learned, you have to be sensitive, but you also have to be confident and secure in the two of you also. So that's my opinion on that.
I think that love that you share with your partner is incredible, and our community is starting to see it and media is taking it. But there's still so much learning and so much
Dissecting?
yes, compassion. Personally, I'm dating a lovely white Australian, if we can call it that, because we're all Australian, right? And there's two tiers, interracial and queer. And the looks that I still get walking around Sydney is enormous.
Wow.
Enormous, absolutely enormous. You go, oh yeah, that's right, we're out of Newtown. People are gonna judge. I was like, is it because I'm Asian or because she's white, or because I can't tell? I can't tell, there's so many layers there. What can we do, and what is the responsibility of everyone to really take a look inside to go, hey, how can we respect and how can we show compassion?
I know you said love is love.
Yeah.
And my mindset around interracial dating has probably just recently shifted. I still share certain sentiments just because it's not as simple as love is love. And I know we can speak on that. You just use the Kardashians as an example. So back in the day, my initial reaction is to question if I was to see specifically a Black man with a non-Black woman, because it's not as simple as, oh, they just love Black men. A lot of non-Black women play into the stereotypes of hypersexualized men and women as well. And it's just not as simple as that's who I've fallen for, or if you have only been dating one type of person, sometimes you need to also step back and question why. And am I actually being respectful? Am I actually looking outside of my own eyes and mindset to see that I'm not possibly playing into certain things? And I've only just recently gotten into an interracial relationship myself. And that has been a shift. It's been a shift, and it's quite a sensitive topic for me because I think I've always been pro-Black, but I'm just continuing to grow into it. And I've always envisioned being with a Black man, creating with a Black man, building an empire with a Black man in order to preserve our culture and to uplift our culture. But I'm learning and unlearning that you can be pro-Black and date outside your race. I don't know if Sasha wants to chime in on this.
Girl, I was waiting. And to echo those sentiments, like I was very pro-Black, Black love, and I wanted to be with a Black man and, like you said, build an empire. But because the Black man that I came across was not showing up or adequate enough to fit my criteria.
To hold you some space.
Exactly. I turned to interracial dating, and the first guy that I dated outside of my race was a white guy. And for me, it has opened up the floodgates to options because I was very limited by just staying in my own cultural pool, so to say. The other thing is it opens up the conversation, gets you to understand different cultures and how we show up in the world.
Yeah.
Love is love, yes, but there is complications that come with the cultural barriers as well. Sometimes I feel like if I'm in an interracial relationship, I don't want to have to answer questions about why do Black people do this or do this, big spill of 250 plus years of education. It is tiring.
That is a long
It is a lot. And on both sides, being a First Nations woman and an African American woman, it's just constant.
Yes.
So it's a very fine line of finding where you sit within the interracial dating scene.
definitely.
But, if it's a really healthy, respectful relationship, as I hope it would be, then I don't have any problem with interracial dating.
There's so many groups. We're talking on major groups here. But even in my family, I'm Greek and Lebanese, they hated each other in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? There are
I know what you're saying. Chinese and Vietnamese.
right, Chinese, Vietnamese, or, like Greeks and Italians, or Ghanaians and Nigerians, so we have to deal with a lot in terms of coming from even two smaller groups coming together and falling in love. So on a macro level, then it gets even more magnified, I guess. So it's not an easy thing, but it can be in certain situations.
Yeah, I would say that it allows you to see into the joys of a different culture, which is what you were saying. But also, you get the opportunity to be matched up with someone outside of the gene pool, which means that your genes are going to be stronger. Date interracially. It's better for the gene pool.
We're in Australia. We're meant to be in a multicultural country, so it is hard if you do have parents that have come from somewhere else and they don't understand that you are meeting other people that may not necessarily be from where they're from, and you're kind of like, Ma, you came out here.
Men are scarce.
What do you want me to do? It is hard, we are meeting different people in our travels every day. So again, I think we need to be sensitive to others' opinions and
I actually think it's the media that has a really big responsibility as well to accurately and authentically tell these stories. It's well and great to have an angle when you're telling a story of a colored person or someone from the LGBTQ community, but actually highlight more than just the heteronormative, Eurocentric point of view. By providing all of those point of views, the next generation can actually get a more accurate picture, and it's so important.
So with that combined, media, you play a part, but also our community that we live in.
Yes.
Be respectful. Love is love. If it's not what you think and deem as a partner that you want to partner up with in interracial dating, just stay in your lane and mind your business, okay? I'm just saying, hashtag I'm just saying.
And to Jen's point, let's see more diversity of diversity. Let's see an Indian man as a lead and a Scottish woman as his. So you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see an Egyptian woman and a Tongan man. Let's see more of that because we don't want just the average. Let's see some more mixes because they're out there. They are. So yeah, let's mix it up. But if that's what you feel like, and if not, that's what you feel like. Well, you know what I'm saying. Not everybody wants to.
Pretty babies.
Yeah.